for the last couple of months, we've been really going hard with this, trying to connect in real life situation with the VR situations. So we have a lot of people trying to make their moves in here. They're trying to move forward. A lot of people are moving forward with Horizon, with the and all the that's able to be created. Because if you're a builder, scripter, promoter, anything that you can bring in here that people look forward to on the outside will be part of a great economy in the future. So right now we're creating our own economies. We're still doing business not only through the Meta in-house payment system, but we're doing Cash App and things like that still, and we're also doing contracting outside of here as well. So, and just trying to make sure that everybody stay abreast on what's going on because we don't all, we don't all do the same. We don't research the same information. We don't necessarily all study the same information. In particular, I keep up with everything, a little bit of everything from law, business, even the arts, So I'm always trying to make sure I bring quality information here in Horizon. So we're going to backtrack just a couple of steps back. Last week, I was telling people to get their pen and paper out because I wanted them to at least get familiar with the terms because a lot of people don't even know the terms when you start talking about blockchain technology and why we have blockchain technology. How is it significant that the fact that we have nanotechnology now and we have biotech that's been integrated and now we have AI and we own such a high level of AI. They're going to probably be rolling out a 6G and 7G soon. But as of right now, everything is moving at so fast now. Everything is rapidly growing so fast. And even though no one's talking about it, and even though it's not it's not being on the major news, because they're really keeping you distracted with, with the war, the economy, the immigrants. They're always keeping, the mass population distracted because what they're doing is they're setting up the whole platform so that they can be the ones to come in first, set up the companies first, set up the businesses, get the legislation down packed and all that. And then when they go public, we're the ones they want us to buy shares of stock, or we're the one to come in late after they get their initial offering from the investors. Then they go with the initial public offerings, and then we're the ones, which is the population that they want to really come in and use our money and buy the stocks and shares. So what I'm talking about tonight will be almost like when we first started getting familiar with blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and things like that. We were looking at white papers, and white papers was just like business plans. It was like if you put your money into right here, buy our meme coin or buy our token that's behind this project, we'll sell it to you, and that thing can have like 12 zeros to the right side of that decimal point. That means that's the value of it right now. So they're trying to build a base, and then luckily they'll probably raise about $50 million overall because the project maybe that's that strong. It's backed by, it could be backed by somebody like Elon Musk could say something about it, like he did with Dogecoin and other coins out there, and then people come in and buy. So all of a sudden you're holding on to something that it jumps over to the other side of that decimal point, and you're rich, right? And it's out of nowhere. You may not even ever have expected it to do that, and that's how it is now that we're moving into a new technological era, which is the 21st century, dealing with um, the information age, the technological age. All of this is where we're going to create new wealth, brand new wealth. And look at it from this standpoint, right? So if you think about the fact that the United States dollar is inflated, it is so inflated, it's not really worth anything. And the only reason it has the worth it has now is because we're using our money in our country. So they can print it up. We're going to use it here because we have no other choice. We're going to use it, but it really doesn't have that value. So when we're moving into the digital era, taking this money, which is not valuable, but converting it or purchasing tokens or digital currencies and buying stuff off the digital coin exchanges. That's how you now take that money and put it into something that's about to skyrocket. It's about to skyrocket. So right now we have $1 million industries, we have $1 billion industries. Within the next couple of years, you're gonna see $1 trillion industries coming, opening up. And it's all because we're moving into all this technology, which will make everything more efficient, more faster, and more lucrative. But you got to be invested. You got to be in the game. So tonight, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just read off some portfolio I have. For interested in knowing what's coming and where should I put my money in terms of putting your, jumping in on some early investments. And what I'm telling you is like, we're always supposed to say this is not legal advice, this is not financial advice, all that. So basically, this is a portfolio I purchased from experts because I keep up with stuff, and that what they do is they tell you what this company is doing, why you want to consider them, because what they're doing is they're looking at the technological advances that these companies are doing, and then they're saying, hey, because of this, that, and the third, this company is most likely to go from its shares of stock that's at $7 right now to probably be selling as $200 a share because somebody's going to come in and buy them out and absorb them for what they do, for the projects they do. So I'm going to look at the screen here. I'm going to pull this up and let me see. Let me make these letters a little bit bigger because I'm going to share this directly from the portfolio that I have. And here we go. Let's see. Okay, so um scroll down real quick. Okay, so the first thing that I'm looking at is typically a chart, right? And the chart is just a simple chart, and that chart is based on what's going on right now. This chart is talking about companies that shall embrace the technology, right? And the cost to operate is going to plummet, which is going to be creating crazy profit margins for people who hold shares in these companies. And in the future, they won't even be called shares for the most part. They'll be called ETFs. And they got a chart that was saying this is the AI software spend and labor output forecast. It's a forecast. So they're saying that basically in 2021, the enterprise software they were spending basically close to a dollar toward AI software across the board, and then they say in 2030 they expect it to be at $14, a whole $13 difference. And when they say in dollars and $13, they're really talking in terms of trillions because this is the this is a trillion scale on here. So we're talking trillions. So 1 trillion in 2021, that's how much money was going into this. And for those who don't understand it, how $1 trillion was going into this stuff, you don't know anything about it. That's because they were spending all this money building up Bitcoin and buying into Ethereum, Solana, and all those other coins, and they was already creating what they call DeFi, decentralized platforms, and all the technology, just like this technology we're using now, which is the headset, all the different technologies that was involved in building these systems out to get prepared for, blockchain and so forth. But then they say it should exceed 56 trillion. It should exceed $56 trillion in labor output increase from just the AI software alone. So, this portfolio is really going to start talking about companies that's heavily vested in AI and what's going to be needed for the system as well as the world systems to operate and achieve these $1 trillion markets, right? So that's what the first thing this portfolio shows. It shows a chart and all the forecast. And these forecasts are not just because they're guessing, y'all. These forecasts are based on all the things that the nation states have mentioned in the world conferences, um, the McKinney reports, Brookings reports, all these major think tanks that are looking at every aspect of what's going on because everything is really related and related to us because everybody used to be on the dollar, the United States dollar, the Federal Reserve note to buy oil. And since the BRICS have started forming, a lot of this stuff is changing. So we definitely got to get to this digital currency divide while all these other countries are going back to backing of gold and natural resources. And the Eastern countries, they're going to go through China to get on the blockchain. But, China going to be really the next, reserve currency that people will probably use who don't have their own. Okay, so we're gonna jump down here on the screen, right? Let's see. I'm gonna jump past all this information here. I'm gonna start talking about some of these companies. Okay, so they're calling a blue chip. Pretty sure y'all know about Nvidia Corporation, right? They build the hardware, that AI software runs on. In other words, it builds the microchip that can handle all the data processing that AI requires. So, NVIDIA Corporation, that's the blue chip of it all. If you know anything about Taiwan, they are the best the manufacturers of the chips right now, and it's a fight for them, and that's why China getting ready to try to bring them back under the communist China, and why the United States is putting billions of dollars of military built building a whole defense around them right now. But so this particular report will tell you everything about it. I'm just gonna have to have those who want this report to get with me, because I could be reading. I'm trying to skip through it and give you guys some good information without going too far into it. Okay, so they're saying that when it comes to Nvidia, um they're the top chip of all chips. Everybody's gonna need them. They're gonna be advancing AI faster than anybody else. Um, their shares of stock right now, you can buy it up to $550 right now. But that's just Nvidia. I got tons and tons of information in here on companies that shares as low as $7 right now, because they're being looked at to be bought by major companies or investors to come pick them up, and their share is going to shoot just like from $7, just like in the 500s and whatever too. Um, so and this report is telling you that the software giant with the most popular AI tool today, they're talking about Chat GPT, and we know now that Chat GPT is you got Open AI behind them, then you got Microsoft Corporation, everybody in bed real hard. Azure, even Google's got its on. It went from Bard to Gemini, and they're just steadily coming out. And the one big thing that's going on right now is Elon Musk is getting ready to take the dude Sam, to a court, because they have what you call generative AI, and that right there is something else. They weren't expecting that to get out. They weren't even talking about it. Now that's a big issue because it's so deep in the game, and I will probably do a whole show on that alone because it's a lot of information. But um, GPT and Chat GPT and open source, all that stuff are the major ones that's considered too, as well as going to be considered blue chip, because all these companies are investing in those companies to incorporate that into their business model, because they're laying off people and replacing everything with as much technology that they can. Um, and they're saying that you may want to go ahead and get some Microsoft Corporation. It's up to $480, and the reason they say up to 480, because it fluctuates. It may not be 400 right now, it may not even be 450 right now, but up to 480. They just saying it like that, like I put a cap on it right there, so you can make sure you realize some profitable gains. And this report goes on to talk about everybody. Intel Corporation is saying how they're is going into talking about the quantum computing. If you know anything about quantum computing, that's the next biggest thing that all nations going to be, scrambling to have. And so when you're looking at those things, you got Intel Corporation, which is considered a blue stock too. They said make sure you try to get some shares of Intel Corporations, spend up to $50 per share. They stop at $50. Um, and then about Amazon. And if you know how Amazon started, it's one of the biggest digital bookstores in the world. And Amazon took over everything and it's still taking over everything. Amazon is just becoming everything out there, like a Walmart was taking over. And so they're saying Amazon, they have Amazon EC2, Amazon RDS. I mean, I can just read on and on all these different web services they got through Amazon. And all these web services are going to turn out to be, like I said, go from a million to $1 billion industries to $1 trillion industry alone. So Amazon is like one of the major players, like and you have they're saying that when you get with Amazon shares of stock, they said you can try to purchase shares up to $165. Um, and then of course it's so many more in the blue chip area. Um, but the ASML Holdings, those people are big. I'm gonna read a little bit about them. They're big because their shares are almost $1,000 already right now. Um, they have figured out how to make some of the smallest microchips possible. without getting too technical, it's figured out how to use extreme ultraviolet light to fit even more transistors into chips. So basically, they have the only technology that could get the chips as small as they get, and their shares of stock right now is at 750. So you can imagine what's going to happen when the whole world gets on blockchain, when the whole world's on all these different um I just went blank on my brain, but yeah, with all these AI systems and people being on the blockchains and whatnot, everybody's going to be tied in, even when it comes to the connectivity of Internet of Things. That's what I was trying to say. They're going to go through the roof. That's going to be one of the most lucrative, probably one of the most biggest companies that's going to be around too. Um, so now here goes some other companies that we may not have heard of. This company is called SoundHound AI Incorporated. They're trading they're trading acronym is SOUN. Um, those guys are they're gonna be heavy in AI, and they're saying to get with them because right now you can get $3.50 per share. And you would think, okay, that's not a lot right now, but they're being looked at by this particular group as one of the companies that's probably going to get picked up. They're going to get picked up. You know what I'm saying? They said SoundHound was processing over 230 million voice queries a month. That's what they were doing. Um, it's also sitting on a $300 million booking backlog from customers, right? They got customers and they haven't even served yet up to $300 million already who want to integrate SoundHound software into their business. So it's on course for a sharp growth in what's estimated to be a $160 billion global market. Um, so SoundHound is used by people like, Pandora, Mercedes, Hyundai, Qualcomm, Netflix, Snap, all those. So SoundHound is one of them. Um, and then you have another company. They're talking about Rockwell Automation Incorporation, right? Um, they deal with Logix AI, So they offer hardware, software services to companies in a wide variety of industries, and they're making their people's factories and manufacturing places more efficient. Um, they said you might want to deal with them. Their trading acronym is ROK, and they said you may want to buy shares in them up to $350 when I think don't go over 350 when it gets that high. Um, and one more, and then I'm just gonna get one more just to let you know these things are just this information is available because I'm making it. But it's a company called Dynatrace Incorporated, right? And its trading acronym is DT, and they're saying to get up to $60 of shares from them, right? Okay, because this company does automation, right, on factory floors, right? And they use AI technology to help businesses automatically monitor computer systems. So they won't be using a whole bunch of techs or a bunch of engineers now. Once they have this set up, they will only probably need one tech or one engineer ever just to oversee the system and maintain the system itself, make sure the system is up and going. But their technology they have been deep in the game already with Dell Technologies, already with Canada, Air Canada, and doing this for the Australian government. All right,
I was trying to get out. I was somehow
So
teleported me over there.
people that are buying them right now is Fidelity. That of all now, these are enterprises that with the government, the billion-dollar industry, Fidelity, BlackRock, hedge funds like Citadel, Two Sigma, and Renaissance. They're buying up shares right now, and right now, I don't think they've reached up to 350 yet. They may have because this was last year when this came out. So basically, I just wanted to share a little bit of that because that's what these reports are doing. These reports are actually telling you what companies, what are they doing, how they're doing it, and why you can expect for them to go through the roof within the next year or two. And anytime you're ahead of the game and you buy anything before the rush, what they call the bull run, before the rush comes, you're most likely to realize millions of dollars before than otherwise coming in as Johnny lately. So if anybody's interested in getting that, just get with me, and we'll see about it. And but as we continue on for the next show, I'm going to continue to like connect the dots and look up more information. And maybe if people send questions in, then I'll be able to answer some questions directly. So, and don't forget to go to our website. That's creators1news.com, creators1news.com. Go to our website and you can catch up with some of the shows that you missed. We have multiple shows. We do it all here in Horizon World, as we are the premier news source for Horizon. So thank you and good night.